The follow-up video to the characteristics of a sexual predator are the characteristics of a sexual abuse victim or even a potential sexual abuse victim. These descriptions of a, again, potential victim or actual victim are not meant to be taken individually. Meaning, if they have just, and if they exhibit just one or two of these, that doesn't mean that they're a potential victim or a victim of sexual abuse, just as we described in other videos. Saving a child having an STD or pregnancy, there is no clear indicator of a sexually abused victim. These common characteristics are what we've been able to determine after a lot of research into the common characteristics of a sexually abused victim, and that's what we're going to be listing for you. As a reminder, in dealing with a sexual abuse victim and talking about who the abuser can be, in a lot of cases it is an older adult, but in an alarming growing amount of cases it is an additional, a possibly slightly older student, or if they're a third grade type student, a middle school grade age type student. Those, please don't put those out of your mind or really put into your mind that a sexual abuser has to be an old adult, an old male, or a young female. It doesn't, again, looking at the stereotypes that we put around it help us to limit our vision. We're trying to expand our vision. Here are the characteristics of a potential sexual abuse victim or an actual sexual abuse victim. Number one is low self-esteem. Number two, younger children will touch their genitalia constantly. Older children will do as well, but it's just not as observable. There will be an immediate, and we mean immediate, negative slide in social standing, grades, participation, and behavior. Number four is nightmares, the inability to sleep, resulting in constant fatigue. Number five, extreme fear of dark or monsters. Number six, loss of appetite or trouble eating and swallowing. Number seven, sudden mood swings. Number eight, fear of a certain person or place. Number nine, frequent complaints of stomach issues with no visible signs. Number 10, refuse to talk about a secret he or she has with an older child or adult. Number 11, talks about a newer, older friend with a lot of reverence when they talk about it. Number 12, suddenly has money or new clothes items without any explanation of where they got the items or money to purchase. Number 13, cut, burn, or harm themselves. Number 14, wearing many layers of clothing regardless of temperature. And again, this is more specific for a sexual abuse victim. Wearing many layers of clothing regardless of temperature. And then number 15, excessive crying. Last but not least, and it's important to know, and this comes from the author Gavin de Becker in his book, Protecting the Gift. The first, and I'll quote from the book, the first footprint on a child's road to becoming a victim of a sexual predator is just the mere fact of a child's vulnerability. An unhappy child not getting comfort or support at home will look for it somewhere else. As we discussed, and we will discuss through different trainings and education, a great example of a sexual predator finding a victim is a sexual predator approaching a young girl, and again, a male sexual predator, can be female, approaching a young girl and saying, you know, that is a very lovely dress you have on. If that young girl can look at that person, that potential abuser, in the eye and say, thank you very much, I appreciate it, and continue walking, they immediately become less and less of a victim. Those individuals with the low self-esteem, those individuals that are wanting and needing that attention and that ability to have somebody pay attention to them, become an even more identified potential victim. Again, this is a lot of very high drama, high dangerous type discussions of what we can have with kids and what we can't have with kids, what you should have with kids. That's not the school's job to be able to determine what your kids should be able to know about sexual predators and sexual victims. That's for you to discuss. Our job as New Dawn Security, working with your school, is to make sure that we are doing everything that we can to prevent a sexual abuse victim from being around the school or in the school. And one of the best ways of doing that is educating everybody that we can on the characteristics of what a potential sexual abuser could show and what a potential sexual abuse victim could display, so that we can get that individual help. If there's any questions, any concerns, anything you want us to cover further or need additional questions answered, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.